What up, people? It's your boy, Master Chudy, out here with another comic review. So, out of curiosity, I picked up the Event Leviathan by Bendis, simply because I need to see I wanted to see how he does. I wanted to see how it does. And to be honest, I had to read this particular issue, one of six in this mystery thriller, as they suggest, a lot of times to get what was going on. I will say there's a potential in this story. It does seem very interesting. It does seem very engaging. Um, I will say that the opening shot is very good. Very traditional, old school panel. I think this is something I would read maybe 10, 12 years ago, just the style itself. Um, but yeah, Batman infiltrates Argus, runs into Lois Lane's. Very nice shot. The panels are done well. I'd say that the art here is very nice and well done. So, Lois is here looking for her father. It's well looking for a Talia al Ghul. And we get this explanation that Leviathan basically took down all of these secret organizations. Cobra, Task Force S, the Suicide Squad's down, Argus is destroyed, Spiral is gone, and the DEO all destroyed. And we see that Leviathan has already destroyed all the corners of our world intelligence. Argus, DEO, Spiral, Cadmus, all gone. Everyone who ever worked there in them is gone. The buildings and people destroyed. Everything is basically gone without a trace. Amanda Waller is also gone as well. And they kidnapped Superman from that huge issue of Leviathan. I never read it, but basically Waller's missing and her dad is like near death, yada yada, so forth. Get a lot of exposition. It's a lot. It's a lot. A lot. Well, most of it doesn't contribute to the story, I would say. It's just having a conversation and it kind of slows it down, which is, I guess, a knock on Bendis's writing style that, I feel like, get to the point. Get to the point. It's like what many people say that you're writing for TV as opposed to writing for a book. And, people don't have that much patience when they're trying to read. So they're just pretty much talking about how did you sneak in? And how did you get there? Yada, yada, yada. But anyway, we find that Steve Trevor is here. And he seems to be basically out of sorts. It's like he was basically visible to Batman's radar. Batman's like, how do you do that? True story, Batman. Every time you invent some new toy or piece of tech to put on your belt, Argus, it's like, we make something to counter that. Just in case. And we just see, you know, Lois Lane tries to reintroduce herself, and he says, yeah, I remember you. And she's like, I just want to know if you were in the moment. And he's like, I know exactly where I am. I know exactly what happened. And they ask, can you tell us what happened? He's like, you know what happened. We saw what happened. The world has seen what happened. We don't know what happened. So, that's interesting. So, basically, he gives them... They say that they're in Coast City. Do you know what this building is? It's the Museum of Super Science, but you're here. It's like, this was to be Argus's new headquarters. What, a few months from being revealed to the public? It's like, and he basically says yes and no, this was. And so 42 minutes ago, basically, we got a nice shot. This is pretty beautiful right here. A lot of exposition, very much exposition. He's arguing with this Dr. Senator. Pretty much they're doing this project. And he's telling them that basically, people here are in trouble. I'm here to basically evacuate everybody from the building. And so they're talking about the Odyssey. I'm probably even going to have to read this again to get a full idea of it again. But basically this guy comes in and attacks the building. And then there's an explosion right here, and it blows up. Bad. And I believe that we get a good 2 pages without exposition. We see what happens to Steve Trevor. It seems that he starts absorbing the powers. And, everybody's looking for Talia al Ghul because, as we found out from the silencer, issues that she runs Leviathan. And they mentioned that somebody else was with Talia. Lois mentions that Superman told her that somebody else was with Leviathan, someone else was with Talia Ghul when he got kidnapped. So we get more exposition of Steve just going insane, thinking that he's Leviathan, and he then starts shooting at them. And then Green Arrow subdues him, and he starts blaming Trevor. But then he's saying this happened under your watch, and Batman's like, no, this happened under our collective watch. So it's like saying our watch attacks plan to trigger those left behind to turn on each other to accuse. So yeah, and basically Batman's like saying, yeah, we're gonna have to work together and solve this. And yeah, Question is right here. One of the few things I am intrigued by is that we haven't seen a lot of the Question in DC for a while. And so we basically got this shot of this guy who was most likely with Talia. And we get this nice cover shot. I think this is probably one of the best shots in this book. Alex Maleev, who did the cover and the art. I think it's pretty sweet. What to make of this? Bendis has done this to me before, where when Man of Steel came out, that 6-issue mini before he started on Superman, I was like, okay, the beginning's pretty good. I like it. It's, he's got potential. I'm going to give him a chance. And then we all saw what happened. Now, this one is where he's dealing with none of these people have powers. It's Batman, Green Arrow, Lois Lane, Steve Trevor, the Question. And it looks like the premise is interesting. It looks like the story is kind of interesting as well. But what bogs it down is the exposition. There's a lot of it. And you'll be surprised how much you can explain in simple terms, basically. Or how much you can do with a lot of low dialogue. So I give this a 6.5 out of 10. There's potential in the story. It is drawing me back to see where he goes with this. Luckily, this is a mini issue series, and I believe that some people are better with less given, and we'll see where it goes. Other than that, yeah, thank you for watching, all of you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications. Make sure you're notified. Once again, I do these reviews for you, the people, because I want to discuss comics, good comics, and get your views on them. Thank y'all again for watching. I should have more videos up when I can. Peace.